welcome to the channel. Keep in mind this is a heavy spoiler as we break down scene to scene of the new series Welcome to Derry. We are welcomed into a movie theater where people have come to watch a musical. A young boy is seen sucking on a pacifier. He is soon spotted by a theater usher, who chases him out of the theater. The boy hides in the lobby, where a young girl named Ronnie, working the cash register, helps him evade the usher. But the usher spots him again, forcing the boy to run outside. He races to the town sign that reads, "Welcome to Derry," holding his thumb up to hitchhike. A family pulls over to pick him up. The family appears average: a pregnant mother, the father driving, and 2 children, a daughter and a son. At first, everything seems fine, but the boy from now on, called Maddie, notices a change in their demeanor. The family begins to bicker, then chant the word out over and over in a haunting rhythm. The pregnant mother begins screaming and moaning in pain as she goes into labor, all while the others continue to chant. Maddie, terrified, tries to escape the car but can't. He sucks on his pacifier in fear. The mother gives birth, and when Maddie peeks over, he sees a hideous monster baby with wings. It flies up, then lunges straight at him, dragging him out into the dead of night. Scene 2. For months after Maddie's disappearance, we see a young boy spying down at the Air Force Base before rushing off to school. We are then introduced to Air Force Major Leroy Hanlon, an African-American officer. Leroy explains that he'll only be living on base temporarily, as he has rented a house in town so his wife can enjoy a normal life. We move to Derry High School. A girl named Lily opens her locker only to have pickle jars spill out. Her entire locker is filled with them. The school corridor erupts in laughter. Her friend Marge comforts her, and they chat about parties and popularity. As they walk, they pass the boy from the base earlier, Phil, along with his friend Teddy. Phil talks about what he saw at the Air Force Base, a group of B-52 bombers, which he calls Fat Cargo Masters. He notes it's unusual for Derry and hints that World War III may be approaching. Teddy brushes him off, treating Phil like he always spouts conspiracies. Major Hanlon is shown around the base and introduced to the officers. When they are brought to see a B-52 bomber, all the soldiers salute, except one, Airman Masters. Hanlon demands respect for his rank, but Masters responds with a smart remark, calling him brother. The first glimpse into the racism present in town. Captain Polly, standing nearby, smirks and says, "Sucking up already." In Teddy's bedroom, he is working on homework while Phil peeps at a neighbor undressing, only to be distracted when a car blocks the view. Phil doodles pictures of aliens and writes a story, but Teddy isn't amused. Instead, Teddy brings up Maddie's disappearance, confessing guilt because they didn't go to his birthday party. He thinks maybe things would have been different. Teddy believes Maddie just ran away, but Phil insists he's dead, though he's calm and level-headed, explaining they couldn't have changed anything. Lily is in her bathroom preparing for a bath. She burns herself when she turns on the tap, triggering a memory of Maddie. In the flashback, Lily and Maddie are inside the same abandoned building Phil once spied from. She recalls how Maddie acted, as though Phil and Ted were his best friends. She opens up to Maddie about her father's death in a pickling factory accident. He fell into a machine and was killed. The prank with the pickles at school suddenly makes sense. Lily blames herself, believing it only happened because she asked her father to retrieve a toy she had left there. Maddie comforts her, saying it was just a terrible accident she couldn't have foreseen. They watch fireworks from the building. Maddie tries to kiss Lily, but she pulls away, explaining they are just friends. Embarrassed, he runs off with a lame excuse. The memory fades. Lily, still sitting on the bathtub, suddenly hears a voice from the drain. It's Maddie's. She begs him to come home, but he replies, "He won't let me." Sticky goo-coated fingers poke through the drain. At school, Lily tells Marge about the voice and the fingers. Marge drags her into the girls' bathroom and tells her to stop talking crazy. warning it will ruin her reputation. Lily senses Marge cares more about popularity than about her. Teddy and Phil ride their bikes to the abandoned building, shocked to see Lily sitting outside. Phil is annoyed she knew about the place, saying, "We only brought him here once." Referring to Maddie, Lily snaps back, "I thought you were his best friends." She explains about hearing Maddie in the drain. Phil insists it's impossible, despite his usual conspiracy theories. Teddy, however, is shaken and tries to reason with it. Lily, upset at their disbelief, storms off. At the base, Major Hanlon sits with General Shaw. Shaw tells him Airman Masters has been dealt with accordingly. They toast to no more horseshit. The general praises Hanlon's record, recalling his daring B-29 mission into Soviet anti-aircraft fire at Suiho. Hanlon, haunted, mutters, "We didn't finish the job." Shaw explains Hanlon was transferred to Derry to test the new B-52 bombers to finish what he started. Hanlon admits he only joined the Air Force because of his father. Shaw shares his own father's pride, and they bond over that. At supper, Teddy's family is shown in traditional Jewish clothing. They pray and talk about his upcoming bar mitzvah. Teddy asks his father if someone could kidnap a kid and keep him underground for months. His father responds with a chilling story of how Jews were treated in the Holocaust, even having their skin used for lampshades. Growing angry, he tells Teddy that reality is terrifying enough, and people cover it up with fantasy. In frustration, he snatches Teddy's comic book and throws it away. That night, Teddy is reading his comic book in bed when his lamp begins to flicker. He switches it on and off until, horrifyingly, he sees a human face in the lampshade. The lamp rolls off the bedside table and seemingly chases him. Teddy panics until his older brother bursts in, sneering, "I can't believe we're related." The next afternoon, Phil, Teddy, and Lily meet at the abandoned building. Phil believes Teddy's story about the lampshade, but is terrified. They'll be thrown in a loony bin if they tell anyone. Teddy vomits into a bucket, shaken by his experience. Lily insists she knows where they can start. The three head to the library. Phil's younger sister Susie tags along, but he sends her on a fool's errand to find a book that doesn't exist. The friends search newspapers until they find an article about Maddie. It reveals he was last seen at the theater by an unidentified 12-year-old girl. Lily realizes she knows who it is. They find Ronnie, the girl from the first scene, at a run-down brick building. She's annoyed they came to her, explaining the police have harassed her and her father, trying to pin Maddie's disappearance on them. She just wants to be left alone. As the group turns to leave, Phil mutters, "It was a bad idea, chasing a song you heard in the sewers." Ronnie freezes. Lily explains she heard Maddie singing in her bathroom drain. Ronnie admits she's also heard voices in the pipes of the Capitol's basement kids, laughing, crying, and calling her name. She asks what song he was singing. That night, Major Hanlon gets up to close a window. As he turns away, an eerie figure approaches from outside. Moments later, 3 masked men in gas masks and suits break in. They beat Hanlon, demanding specs for the B-52 bombers. Hanlon refuses, growling, "That's classified." One of the intruders counts down with a gun pointed at him. Hanlon dares him to pull the trigger. Suddenly, Captain Polly bursts through the door and helps fight them off. After the attackers flee, Polly smirks, "Saved your ass again." Their history together is clear. Phil, Teddy, Lily, Susie, and Ronnie gather at the movie theater. Ronnie explains the song Maddie sang in the drain came from the movie he was chased out of. Phil, Susie, Lily, and Teddy sit in the theater while Ronnie runs the projector. They reflect, crying over Maddie, blaming themselves for not being there. Phil tries to convince them it isn't their fault, though he too cries as the film lights up the room. The movie begins. To their horror, Maddie appears on screen. He acknowledges them, seemingly trapped in the film. They call out, urging him to follow their voices. Maddie, holding a baby, accuses them. It's your fault. He tilts his head, smiling with two sharp front teeth, unmistakably Pennywise. The baby in his arms reveals itself, the same demonic creature that took him, now fully grown. It flies from the screen, attacking the children. Panic erupts. Ronnie watches in terror from the studio. Phil screams that the Air Force created a mutant baby. Ted and Phil try to flee. Lily hides with Susie under the seats, but when she reaches for her sister's hand, the monster bites. Ronnie rushes down with a hammer, finding Lily crawling on the floor, clutching Susie's severed arm. Lily screams in shock as the episode ends. The Capitol Theater climax delivers a devastating gut punch. What begins as a seance-like moment with Maddie, projected on screen, collapses into chaos when the monstrous infant bursts free. The most shocking moment comes when Lily stumbles out clutching Susie's severed arm, implying the youngest of the group has been devoured. Teddy and Phil's fates remain unclear. This cliffhanger works on multiple levels. It emphasizes Derry's cruelty, shows Pennywise's power to weaponize guilt, and forces Lily into the role of traumatized survivor. By ending on her scream, the show underscores how innocence in Derry can be stripped away in an instant. Personally, I believe this was a great first episode to start the series. From the very beginning, I was left on the edge of my seat, trying to predict what would happen next. I'm excited to see where they go from here. My guess is episode 2 will start off exploring the disappearance of Teddy and Phil. Are they alive? Are they missing, dead? As for Lily and Ronnie, will anyone believe them? Major Hanlon's storyline is sure to converge with the kids at some point, but how? Let me know your thoughts and where you think the storyline will go.